Hi guys, it's Mike here from KES Bushcraft Down Under. I apologise for my voice, but I'm getting over the dreaded COVID. And it was no fun at all. So what I thought I'd talk today is about bushcraft fishing, survival fishing, backpack fishing, whatever you like. So most of you guys that watch my channel will know that I'm a big fan of hobo reels. They've got a lot of good things about them. So this is a selection of my reels. And this is the Kabuya, and this is a really good reel. I'm actually really enjoying this one, mainly because of the speed you can bring a line in. So that's 70 grams. My K-bar, 130. Now this is the weight without tackle. My Daggerfish, another nice little reel, 80 grams. My Yowito in cast aluminium, 106 grams. And the one I've had for donkey's years in wood, 80 grams. So if you average them out, they're about 100 grams. So what's the upside? They're compact. Bang, straight away. They're light. They're simple. There is very few moving parts to go wrong. That's going to be a catastrophic failure. And some have storage. So that's all the good signs. Can you cast further with a rod? Sure can. The smaller the diameter, the slower the line retrieve. It's a bit of a problem, especially with spoons and lures. With bait, not so much. There is no drag, except for your fingers. Or if you're wearing a pair of gloves, you can dole it out with gloves. So they're better suited for floats and baits or bottom rigs and baits. Yeah. Because it's running through your fingers, monofilament fishing line is what you want. Braid will cut you to the bone, even with a relatively small fish. So that's all I'm going to say on hobo reels, other than to say I'm a really big fan of them. So what's your next step up? Well, obviously, a pack rod. So I've had this little Daiwa since the 80s, and there wasn't much to be had around them days. Now, with fishing rods, of course, they're basically designed for lengths and line weight. So unlike a hand line, if you have 10, 20 or 30 pound line, you can virtually fish for anything. With these things, you need to pick the right one. So this is this little fella here. Now, I modified this. It came with guides with 2 feet on it, so I changed them all to single foot guides. Now, for those that aren't aware, fishing rod blanks have a backbone. So when this was built, whoever was building it didn't pay any attention. So basically, if you roll a rod between your fingers like this, it'll lock into a certain position. Sometimes there's multiples. This one's got one sort of there, but it's where it snaps there, that is its backbone. So I realigned all of these eyelets onto their backbone. So it improved this little rod a lot, huge amount. Now I also selected the eyelets so that this would fit into a piece of 50mm PVC pipe. But it's still relatively vulnerable. Most fishing rods are destroyed by car doors or by things getting dropped on them. And inside your backpack's not the world's safest place. So if you're a fisherman that wants to go backpacking, this is a pretty good choice. Now I've got some really high-end travel rods designed to go in your suitcase, since I've been to Alaska, Argentina, New Zealand, I've been all over the globe fishing. So these are a reasonable option. So this is one I picked up down the markets one morning. It's a newer version of that one. So this weighs in at 226 grams in a little PVC tube. That would withstand most knocks in the backbone. So need a reel. So a small reel, you're looking in 150 grams to say 250, depending on how heavy the line. So we're looking at rod and a reel without any tackle, by the way, at half a kilo. So, and yeah, sort of a reasonable amount of space in if you've only got a backpacking pack, yeah. So it's all on your priorities. So I was looking online when I was laid up in bed, and I think there's another option out there. So it won't fish as well as this, but it gives a lot of the advantages of having a mechanical drag, line retrieval, and all that, plus a lot quicker to set up. Now, to set this up, you've got to line up all the eyelets, make sure you don't lose anything, and basically you've got to pick, what is it, the lure weight of 1/8 to 1/4 of an ounce, and line of 4 to 8 pound, which is a bit light for your bushcraft fishing, but anyway, that is the advantage of having a reel. So I've come up with this. This is an M-rod. So it's pretty simple. It's an aluminium tube with a rubber overlay. It's got this is a short version, so this is 11 inches packed up, or 28 centimeters for the rest of us guys. Weighs in at 235 grams, not including the reel. It's pretty compact. It certainly doesn't need a protective tube. So there are other lengths of handles. I've got another one called a Kayak King, which is basically the same handle, but about 2.5 inches longer. And they also do other coils. So they seem to rate them. So this just pushes in with a keyway here and does a turn. So probably the only maintenance if it's going to go in the salt water is to lubricate that keyway. And line goes on a spinning reel. There's closed face options as well. Run straight through there into there. So if I put a clip on the end of this little reel, I could have my lure snapped on in seconds, not minutes. So I think this is pretty cool, guys. I really do. So I planned to be giving this a go on my trip away. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. So I've got another week in home quarantine to get over the COVID, and then we'll be back out there. Well, anyway, guys, if this content helps you out, gives you good ideas, I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time where hopefully my voice will be back.